Hannah and the prop master gained control over the guns, and she never witnessed anyone shoot live rounds with these guns, nor would she permit that. They were locked up every night and at lunch, and there's no way a single one of them was unaccounted for or being shot by crew members. Hannah still, to this day, has never had an accidental discharge. The first one on this set was the prop master, and the second was a stuntman after Hannah informed him his gun was hot with blanks. All right, Christa, I want to focus in on Hannah. All right, Hannah's the person who's in charge of these guns. She checks them, she has to check them again. She's the one that pronounces them hot or cold, meaning they have a round in them or they don't. Not a live round, even a dummy round, they're hot. This instance, as we heard, live rounds or live ammo were introduced onto the set somehow. First and foremost, do you think it was right that she made that particular statement, or her attorney puts that statement out there on her behalf?
I think that it can be problematic when you put out a statement with that many details in it, because ultimately, if she is charged with anything, this is out there into the universe, and she's got to live with these facts. And so there's a lot of detail that she put in here, and it really, her job ultimately as an armorer it's her job. The buck stops with her. And when a gun is handed to an actor and it is announced that it's a cold gun, then that actor has to rely upon it. So why in the world she doesn't know on how live ammunition was introduced into this site or into these weapons is problematic, to say the least.
Yeah, I agree. She actually seems to put the blame on a couple of places. One, the ammo that was introduced on the set, she had no control over that. She said as far as she was concerned, no live ammo was on the set. She didn't authorize it. She wasn't aware of it. She also says at one point during the statement she was doing two jobs, I guess saying that it was maybe a little more difficult for her to keep track of things. Do either one of those things absolve her from responsibility in any way?
No, they don't. If you are the person responsible for making sure that the set is safe, that the guns are safe, and that is your job as an armorer, then that is your responsibility. If you have got too much work on your plate and it is making you tired or unable to perform the functions of your job appropriately, then you must speak up and speak out to your supervisors.
Yeah.
That would speak to like civil liability on the part of the production company, for instance, but not her responsibility to the guns.
Yeah, I agree. And I think civil responsibility is a foregone conclusion here. An insurance company is going to be paying out on this one. That's for sure. Yeah, and the way she said it went down, and this is in a statement that I was able to see from a search warrant that was issued by the sheriff's department. She says basically that before lunch, she actually checked the guns. She puts those guns into a safe. One of her assistants retrieves the guns after lunch, and again, it's a locked safe. She retrieves the guns, give it back to her. She then hands it on over to the assistant director, who eventually hands it over to Alec Baldwin. So somehow, from the time they went into that safe, somehow, and during that lunch period, there were these live rounds introduced into the set. If we find out who introduced those live rounds, let's say they took the shell that was found in the gun, they found some sort of fingerprint, points to some crew member or something. Does that alleviate her from, let's say, criminal liability?
I think that potentially it could be an intervening factor. But I think that the problem with that argument is that she ultimately should have checked it again before it got handed to Alec Baldwin. So, the conspiracy theory, I guess in my view is that someone wanted to intentionally harm or kill someone on that set in some sort of nefarious way, I guess. I don't know. Because why anyone would introduce a live round at that point is beyond me. I think what actually probably happened is that there was a live round in the chamber that wasn't checked appropriately, and that's how it ended up in the chamber at the time of the shooting.
Yeah, fair enough.